Yeah. Once again, it's the Bird Daddy, and I am the loyal shooter back once again with another review of some dope ass Carolina music. I appreciate you checking in with me. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button at the bottom if you haven't already subscribed. Today we are talking about V12 Steph. Finally got around to doing this review, man. I've been listening to this album that's called The Last Shall Be First for the past several months. I believe it dropped either November the 1st or October the 1st. I can't remember, but it is out right now on all platforms. It is called The Last Shall Be First. It is I think the debut project by artist V12 Steph, who is the flagship artist from V12 Worldwide, which is the brand behind V12 Studios, V12 Clothing and Apparel, and also the V12 Podcast, which yours truly is a host on. And you can go ahead and check all of that out right now at V12. I think it's V12worldwide.com, and also the V12 Podcast is on V12 Studios YouTube page. But fuck all that. Right now, we're talking about the goddamn V12 Steph, The Last Shall Be First album. And I must tell you, man, if you're not a fan or haven't heard about V12 Steph, man, V12 Steph is a dope artist, and he's actually a so he has like a meld of both cultures. He's like Spanish and he's also black. And he's coming out of South Carolina, but he was also born and raised, I believe, in Panama. And he speaks fluent Spanish. Some of that's prevalent on his music. And shit, man, he's just a dope ass artist, man. Like he's done styles from similar shit to, maybe you could compare him to. Really, you can't compare V12 Steph to nobody. And the first thing I was going to say was Lil Baby, just from like his earlier work when I first got hip to him. But I mean, he's even different than that. Like he's like just a really dope all around like creative artist. And I had a really, really good time in this review. Now there's a lot of songs on this thing, and there's going to be a lot of in-depth discussion about it. So I'm going to try not to make it that long, but I mean, it was a lot to talk about here. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into it, man. V12 Steph, we already at 2 minutes, 48 seconds recording this thing. So we're going to go ahead and start with the album cover, the V12 Steph, The Last Shall Be First album cover. And this is available right now on all platforms if you want to go check it, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. But the V12 Steph album cover, it pictures what looks like V12 Steph. It looks like a younger V12 Steph, really. Now, really, he's from overseas, so this looks like it may have been from, taken there, or depicting what his life may have looked like while over where he was from. And it says The Last Shall Be First to his left, and V12 Steph to his right, with the parental advisory sticker up at the top. And it just gives me the image of somebody who's coming from nothing, that's trying to make something out of himself. Like if you look at how he's posed, how he's smiling, like his smile and how jovial and happy he looks, even though he's surrounded by what appears to be poverty or almost, you want to say, barren wasteland looking type shit. For him to be smiling like that, it's like a person in a good mood with optimism, against all odds, preparing to come from nothing. So I started listening to this with an open mind, man. And the first song that came on is called Focused. And I'm telling you, man, it's kind of difficult to discuss this vibe because it's really in its own lane. It's its own genre of music. And this is my first time doing something that wasn't like traditional type hip hop. And I really heard nothing like this, man. It comes on kind of like a mantra, like maintain focus, 3 eyes open. He plays his voice like an instrument, finding pockets of the beat to dance on, open up the album, set the tone. There's no time for games. Like he's saying that he's focused. Now it goes on to the second song, which is called, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Despierta. Yeah. Now, him being an artist of Hispanic and Latin descent and having that background, I was definitely expecting to hear some of these elements on this album, and I feel that this song basically perfectly combines the Latin influence with the soul of his Afro side. Like, it's spicy and soulful. And I looked up despierta, and I think it translates to wake up, like arise, like get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Now, the next song comes on right after that, which is called Climbing and Rising. Now, this one comes on also like a mantra. And if you guys are too fucking stupid to know what a mantra is, a mantra is something that you would repeat back and forth to yourself to kind of get you in the mode of whatever it is you're trying to do. Put it in your mind of whatever it is that you're trying to think, whatever thought or whatever you're trying to overcome, or whatever the reason is, you come up with something that you say over and over to yourself. That is a mantra. And Climbing and Rising comes on with one of those as well. It's motivational repeat of the same. I'ma stay climbing, I'ma stay rising, I'ma stay climbing, over and over and over until you actually start to believe in that. And I'm listening to this in the morning at the time of me listening to this. So what he's saying to me at this point is very, very inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Big things, taking big steps, big feet. I'm going to stay climbing. I'm going to stay rising. Like, I ran this song back like 4 or 5 times, to be honest, because it just, I'm really a fan. I don't know whether the nigga getting older or whatever it is, but I'm just really a fan of music that makes me like motivated to do something positive. And when he's saying I'm taking I'm a big king, big things, taking big steps with big feet. I'm gonna stay climbing. I'm gonna stay right. Like that got, it got me wanting to do something. And I like that. Now the next song has single vibes to it. I think it's called Ha Ha Ha, if I wrote this correctly. Now, the message that's covered on the surface, right, is like it seems like it's a song about the uncertainty of love, not knowing whether it's real or fake, whether it's worth it or not, and just smiling through the uncertainty, and you just gotta laugh through it, good or bad. You gotta laugh through it. Ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? Find the positive. And then after that, it's the undertones of just laughing and smiling regardless of what situation you're facing, even if it doesn't have anything to do with the love. Like, he starts off and you start thinking about like, hey, I don't know whether or not you're real or fake, or whether or not to trust you, but ultimately it rounds out the song talking about just smiling and laughing and just being positive throughout a situation, because you catch more bees with honey than shit, and it's always better. It's easier to it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. You understand what I'm saying? So the next song comes on. It's called She Worth Too Much. Now, it's Steff really is crooning at this point. He's crooning to a lucky lady, telling her she's worth too much to him, but he has the wisdom to say that he loves a pretty mind and that he might wife her. You know what I'm saying? He's doing more weaving and playing with different pockets of the beat, playing with his voice like an instrument, which is what I love when people who know how to sing do that. And his ad libs are prevalent throughout the track as well. It's really like this on this track. If you notice one of Steff's ad libs, and he'll notice it throughout this, but he has this real explosive, high pitched like scream. It's like a hey type shit. Now, I don't know how that sounded coming through these headphones, but that's what he does. And the way he places it on this song, in and out, in the perfect places to accentuate what he's saying, like, it's just dope. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I really, really liked it. Now, the next song after She Worth Too Much is the critically acclaimed viral hit song that's called We Outside. Now, for those of you who haven't know, if you've been living under a rock, or if you just if it hadn't hit you, We Outside came out, I believe, I want to say it actually might have came out in 2022. And they worked this song all 2023, and it went viral overseas in the motherland in Africa. V12 Steph, I think, took a trip over there. I mean, there was a time when there was like 5 and 10 and 15 videos a day of people overseas doing their own dance to this We Outside song. It is very, very infectious. And to be honest, listening to this song in headphones really does it the most justice. It really allowed me to understand what it is about this song that gave it so much appeal. From the moment it comes on, the artist there, you know, he got Cherry Brown. Matter of fact, let me go back. Cherry Brown is also a V12 artist, and he's on this song with V12 Steph as well. And from the moment the song comes on, Cherry Brown is riffing, but below that, there's another riff going on in the beat with an effect that sounds like a synthesizer. And that continues to go on through the hook, which is Cherry Brown and V12 Steph going back and forth, versus the same exact way with them going back and forth. Them two artists melted together on this song in such a way, and you know, it doesn't play like one artist featuring another. It plays like two artists that are one entity on the same song. And also the song is sung in 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and Tanzanian, which is what Cherry Brown speaks. And, you know, TikTok went crazy with this song. If We Outside is that one, I'm gonna let you know right now. But the next song is called Like What I Like. Now, Steff has this thing on this project coming on with like transmic mantra type chants. And I really like, you know, the repetitive nature of it, because with it being a good melody and it being something that sounds fresh and unlike anything I've ever heard, it really seeps into me, and I latch on to it. He's saying, I like what I like despite who don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But he twists it to encompass what seems like a love interest. He croons about having questions about who to trust, but he sees something in you. This one is a vibe and a definite bop. The next one comes on, it's called My Love. It's another one with Cherry Brown. Cherry starts off with the Afro beat vibe, speaking his native tongue. So it's another one with that's not entirely in English. Now, I don't speak that shit myself, so I'm really just going off vibes alone. And it's the Afrobeat, dreamy vibe, evoking images of that African dance style, a night on the town. And before I know it, this song is actually over with, and I realized that it's really just a Cherry Brown solo song. So this is really dope, man. Like, Cherry Brown snuck a solo song in on the V12 Steph album, and it fits right in there. It melds right in there. Good song placement to whoever did this album track listing. But we go to the next song, which is called Wake Up. And I'll be honest, man, I usually save my favorites and least favorites and sleepers and shit until the end, but Wake Up got to be my favorite song on this whole goddamn album. It comes on so goddamn smooth. Steph wastes no time telling everybody to wake up. It's very hard to articulate what this song is about, but I can tell you how it feels. Like, I don't 100% know what it's about, but I know how it makes me feel. It feels positive, inspirational. It's like the song you listen to when you feel like giving up, but you remind yourself of why not to give up, and then you start feeling proud of how far you've made it up until this point. He says something like, childhood gone, but it's cool, we grown, fear and brain gone, and I'm alone, and I'm in my zone, grinding, no sleep. Wake up, wake up. And then the way Cherry, because Cherry Brown is on this one as well, Cherry and Steph, they found synergy on this one. I use this word a lot, synergy, when it comes to artists that are featuring or collabing. Like, if you don't have synergy where this artist makes this artist and that artist makes that artist, and without them two together on the song doesn't work. But with them two together, it works perfectly. Like, that's synergy. And without that, you know, it feels like one artist is just doing something and another one is doing another. But on this, every song that Cherry Brown and V12 Steph are on together on this album, especially this Wake Up song, there's a good synergy. And this song is just so well crafted, in my opinion. For V12 Steph to be so goddamn young, to be sitting in the studio putting shit together like this is phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. Now, anyway, the next song is called Mi Mujer. It's spelled M-U-J-E-R. I'm trying to do my Spanish accent on this motherfucker, but it's spelled M-U-J-E-R, and it translates to My Woman. It's another like crooning type song, somewhat like of a filler type track to me, but you know, it's what you would call an album cut. It fits the tone of the project, fills it out without adding anything or taking anything away from it. Now, the next song, again, it's another one that is a Spanish word. I think it's called, I think it's pronounced Adelante. Now, this is one of the only tracks on the album so far that I would consider to have more of a traditional urban music like template. Like, the rest of it was like more like cha-cha dance type vibes. This one is like a head nodding, more of like a rap beat. And the sample and the beat, it drives the track. Steff oozes all over the beat, playing with his voice again, which is one of the things I love. The chants and flows are like an instrument. As a listener, like I said, who doesn't speak the language, it can be easy to be disoriented when you're listening to songs that's not in your native tongue. And I think that's why some people are turned off of V12 Steph, especially with his later music, is because a lot of that stuff that he's doing now is in Spanish. But he's not the type of artist that spits in Spanish or sings or raps in Spanish that does it in a way that it's disorienting, because the way he plays with his voice inflection and the way he sings makes the song vibe, even though you don't understand what the fuck he's saying because you don't speak the language. So he makes it sonically pleasing enough to catch that vibe, and it's very, very evident on this track, Adelante. Now, the next song is called Powerful. This song, to most people, will probably be what Wake Up was to me. It's a very inspirational and positive affirmation song, proclaiming your power, not letting nobody take it from you. It's just very, very direct and very straightforward, whereas Wake Up kind of said it indirectly. A powerful but simple track to round out the last stretch of this album. And I mean, like I said, if you're a fan of motivational type shit to make you feel good, like this, tracks like Powerful is what it's going to be. Now, this next song, which is going to be the last song, was called The Last Shall Be First, which is the title track. And I believe that it was more than likely put as the last song on the project due to the title having the phrase The Last. But when you listen to the song, it really could have been the first song on the album. Steff is basically introducing himself and his perspective on this song, saying nobody knows him. In life, raindrops fall, but not for long. The last shall be first. This song could have definitely been the first song. This shit is hard. As a matter of fact, if I wanted to make this song as the last song, I would have broken the song up and teased like the first maybe like 30 seconds of this song at the beginning as the intro, like the first part of the song and the hook, and then had the full song come on as the last song, just to kind of, sandwich the whole album in between this song. But overall, what I can say about this project is Steff brought a vibe that held consistent throughout the entire 30-minute listen. Excellent vibe music, excellent riding music. If you're like nighttime riding, put a little shorty in the car, you know what I'm saying? Get the feeling on her thigh, maybe get some road head, or you just want her to be vibing and, get a little twerk on in the car and shit. Or if you're just chilling in the crib on a date. But the depth that comes in is when you actually catch some of the things that Steff is saying. As a young man trying to find his way and navigate life, speaking positivity on himself and those who lend him an ear. It's just it just really surprised me to hear some of these types of themes come out of such a young mind, man. So definitely looking for great things from V12 Steph. As you know, I'm going to give my absolute favorite and my least favorite. My absolute favorite track is Wake Up. I said it earlier, man. I just love what Steff did on that. I love how him and Cherry Brown bounced off each other's vibe, and I love what it speaks to me. My least favorite is probably going to be the one Me Mujer, and that's just because I feel like it was just a filler song that didn't add anything to the project except, time to the runtime of the song. Steff really doesn't really do or say anything unique on that song either. It's just kind of like a song that's just there. I'm also, like I said, been introducing with these last reviews that I've done is something that's called The Sleeper. The Sleeper is a song that I think people might sleep on initially, but will creep up as a favorite through repeat listens. I'm sure everybody has either been riding in the car or just listening to music and heard a song playing that you heard 1,000 times, but something catches you on this 1,001 listen, and it's like you discover how good the song is all over again, as if you've never heard it a million times before. And to me, The Sleeper on this project is going to be the title track, The Last Shall Be First. That song is deep. I love how it's mixed. I love how the beat is, and it just speaks to me. Now, my recommendation as a listener is always going to be to listen to a project in its entirety from start to finish in order first. But understanding that not everybody does that in this damn short attention span Vine fucking culture that has fucked up the way that people consume fucking music, I would recommend listening to 2 songs. If you are not going to listen in its entirety, start off with 2 songs. And that, for me, is going to be listen to my favorite and then listen to the sleeper. My favorite being Wake Up, the sleeper being The Last Shall Be First. And then you can round it out with We Outside. And if it caught you from there, go ahead and listen to the whole entire album. But this has been V12 Steph, The Last Shall Be First. I'm going to put the links to the album, Apple and Spotify in the description. Go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Go to the V12 Studios and watch me give my talk, my opinion on other types of shit on the V12 podcast, and like and subscribe over there as well. This has been The Loyal Shooter. I am the Bird Daddy, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Yeah.